Hi Lucia, my name is Daphne and I have been given your corrections to do. Thank you very much. These look really interesting. Well done. I don't know your history on your IELTS, but I know you've been through the course and I really hope it went well for you. I'm wondering maybe you didn't get the grade you want, which is why you're doing some additional tasks. But I hope I can guide you and give you some ideas. You still have access to the course, so I'm going to suggest that you go back to some of the modules, which I think you might find useful, especially on writing conclusions. I think that's quite important. Okay, so here we've got a bar chart academic, bar chart. My comment would be, try to avoid repeating the same words in the question. So here you've got physical activity, men and women, and men and women. Okay, I think it's really important to paraphrase. This is a very short task and you need to show, it's a language exam, so you need to show your language. You don't get any marks for writing the same as the question. So we could say sport, yeah, or literally sport, done by males and females, then immediately you get around that problem. So that was the first thing. Okay, the data is divided into age groups. Yep, that's fine. Okay. On closer look, on closer inspection, the information can be classified into 3 categories based on a men-women ratio, I think is better. So your categories are here, here and there, okay? So you've grouped them all by age, actually, it looks to me. You've done this group, and that group. So it's by, men, women. I mean, I think you've done it by age, so I would think you should say that. First of all, in the group 15 to 24-year-olds, it can be seen, yes, that males were more likely to take part in sport activities. Yes, well done. So sport in, you need to have. I've underlined it because I think that's good. Than women, with 58 compared to 30, respectively. Yes, lovely. We like that as well. Really nice. Okay. Secondly, in the next age, which is a really big grouping, overall percentages are similar. Okay, overall percentages between the sexes, maybe, are similar, with clear female dominance of 50% on average in each class, compared with only 43% in men. Now, I think you need to go into more detail here. I think you have missed something. You've divided it by age, which is okay, but remember you're also meant to be comparing. Make comparisons where relevant. So I think as an interesting bit of information, you should highlight this. Yeah. So the most committed group undertaking regular sport was in men 15 to 24-year-olds, whereas with women was 45 to 54-year-olds. That's to me that's very interesting, and that's quite significant. So I think you should highlight not just men, women, but a comparison like that. Okay, I think that's quite important. And yes, you've got all those 3 around. I mean, you've grouped all those and said around 50%, but maybe you should be saying, surprisingly, in the older age group, this age group, women were, they are, over 55%, over 53%, whereas that one and that one, they're under. So I think grouping it all as to 50%, I think is a little bit missing something. So that's my comment on that section. So finally, in the group, if the percentages were equal, you can't be rather equal, you have to be equal for both genders. Yes, well, almost equal you could have. For this and that for women. Okay. To sum up, it can be seen that the percentage of females who practice sport was generally higher than men. Okay, with only 2 age groups varying from this pattern. Okay, so I think it's okay. I think you've missed some quite important detail. So selecting and reporting the main features. So give me something a little bit more exciting that you could talk about. But otherwise, your grammar looks okay. You've tried to vary. You've put nice words in here. I think you've put 50%. Yes, I mean, can we avoid going percent all the time? Can we just mix it up a bit? I know it's a bit tricky, isn't it? But if you can think of any varieties, sometimes it's nice to use a tenth, a half, something like that. So I think that could do with a little bit of tidying up. If you're going to do a revision on that, that would be great. Okay, this is an interesting title. I know this is a recent title, so maybe that's where you found it. It's widely accepted the older generations. Now, I don't know what you mean here. Grooded. I don't know what this word is. Maybe you can tell me what this word means. Our actual society and accomplished things that brought us to where we are now. Okay. My main comment on your essays is that I think you need to try and raise the level of your vocabulary to make them more academic. So the words you're using are fine and they're correct, but they're not very high level words. So I think some of your vocabulary you need to look at, just try and look at, there's a website, thesaurus.com, and that will give you alternative words. So maybe you can just try and upgrade the vocabulary. So I'll try and do a bit for you. Accomplish things that brought us to where we are right now. Okay. Society and their achievements, and accomplishments contributed enormously to our current standard of living. Okay? Do you see, I'm saying the same thing as you, but I'm trying to say it in a more sophisticated way, which is why we should regard them. Okay? They should be regarded with great respect. So I'm trying to take out we. I don't like we in essays. Our grandparents and parents represented was high moral values and traditions, whereas the younger generation represents the future. Okay. Opinions on this matter can be very divided. Yep, okay. Can be divided. Yeah, you don't need very. Okay, so, alright, interesting. So, to the advantages and disadvantages. So, be careful, I'm not really looking at opinions, I'm looking at advantages and disadvantages. So, here we go. First of all, you need a comma there. The younger generation stands for energy. Okay, you've got represents there. Yes. Okay. Can be characterized by. Sorry, hang on, spelling there. Okay, it's difficult to type fast. Can be characterized by, you'd have to have by, their energy, new ideas, and hard work ethic. Okay, so I'm just trying to kind of upgrade as we go along. According to the latest statistics, so spelling here, every time it's red, check the spelling. Latest statistics conducted by an American capital A university, those under 30 are nowadays more career-oriented, okay, good, and seek personal fulfillment through jobs rather than, don't know, families in early life, which is why they're more likely to support our economy by paying taxes. Yes, very, very good point. So this is an advantage, okay? Also, so make the point somewhere that this is an advantage. Okay? Also, the generation's goals have, so goals are plural and have plural verb, have changed over time. This is seen in that Generation X and Y, as they are called, have a different mentality. I've changed here, being less determined and, okay, possibly, I think it's a bit harsh to say, possibly, less determined and motivated than their older, than their older colleagues, because we're talking about a work scenario. And whilst valuing their jobs, coming up to here, they also prefer, or they demand, higher living standards. Okay, so we're going from these dots to these dots. Okay, so I'm just trying to kind of upgrade this as we go along. However, their attitude can indeed bring new wind and change old-fashioned standards. Yes, I like that. Okay, so put however instead of though. You've written through, which is different. Okay, yeah. Additionally, so it's not contrasting. Additionally, through their attitude, they can indeed, yeah. All right, nice. Okay, so good paragraph. I like your thinking. I like your point that you're making. You're making the point well. You're developing it really nicely. Your example is excellent, and you're supporting your example. So no problems with that paragraph. Just the language there. Yet, other side, there may be drawbacks, good, disadvantages for the younger generation, due to the fact that, keep going here, no full stop, due to the fact that the older population, which means the number of people who are retired and no longer pay social contributions, exceeds the working class. Okay, stop. Okay, because if we're going to continue here, you need to stop here. Okay. this may generate a budget deficit, we would say. Sorry, deficit between those who contribute to the system and those who benefit from it in terms of remuneration. Yeah, good, very nice point. For example, don't put a suitable example would be, just go straight in. For example, here in Germany, in Germany, yeah, in Germany, okay, there is great concern that by the late 2020s, you have to put an S on the end there, there may not be enough tax revenues in order to pay pensions or rents. So tax revenues, okay, pay or provide, sufficient pension benefits or something like that. Yeah, so these are all words which you might be able to fit in there. Okay, another similar disadvantage of an aging population could be, not would, yeah, do could, not would be, and don't use probably, could be seen in healthcare as those seeking medical help will proportionately increase with age. Yes, good point. Okay, which adds to the burden on society. Yeah, to draw a conclusion. Okay, in conclusion, I personally believe now. I don't think I really like your conclusion. I'm sorry. I think it's on a pretty good essay. The conclusion is weak. So I think to conclude this topic, let's go back to the question. Yeah, the advantages of younger people in society, younger people. Okay. A larger proportion of young people offers many benefits to society. However, an aging population, whilst an aging population can offer or can potentially produce problems for the future, I believe that yeah. So I would do it that way. However, I believe that the young people will be able to carry on adding value. Yeah, long into the future or something like that. So just go back onto the little video which talks about conclusions, because I think it's important that you can back up your essay, which is good, with a strong conclusion. Okay, so task achievement, I think you're answering the question nicely, but keep thinking about advantages, disadvantages. You've structured it well, so your cohesion is good. It's coherent, it's easy for me to understand. Your grammar looks pretty strong. There's no big mistakes there on grammar. And you're doing some nice long sentences, which is good. I think just look at the language. Go into the website, look at language, vocabulary on work, vocabulary on families, that sort of thing, which you might be able to, might help you. And just, yeah, look at the conclusion. Okay, but well done.